Hello everyone, I'm Heather Dawson and we've got a special Mother's Day episode of California Life for you this week. And remember, besides airing statewide, you can also watch us online at californialifehd.com, and don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Well, she was a celebrated actress, a beloved princess, and devoted wife and mother. And now the life and legacy of Grace Kelly has inspired a brand new jewelry collection. California Life's Audra Stafford has a look.
I'm here at the Beverly Wilshire Hotel's Royal Suite for a sneak peek at Mont Blanc's Princess Grace de Monaco collection. When you think of Monaco, you probably think of beautiful beaches, fast cars, and luxurious yachts. And of course, Princess Grace.
She's a woman that everybody knows for her beauty, for her success as an actress, as a mother, and also because at the end she made one of the dreams of every young lady true, which is to marry a prince and become a princess.
It's that legacy that has inspired this new collection from Mont Blanc.
We looked at her personality, we looked at her passions, we looked at what she loved, and we were enchanted by the fact that she really loved very much flowers.
Namely, roses.
She's probably the woman in the world which has the most roses which were created as a tribute to her beauty.
And the rose is a common theme throughout this series of writing instruments, timepieces, and fine jewelry.
Every single product has, in a way or the other, the interpretation and the declination of the rose petal in a creative way.
This isn't the first time Mont Blanc has designed something for Monaco's royal family.
We started our relationship with the family in 2007 with this tribute to Prince Rainier. Then we also have had an unbelievable chance to actually manufacture the one-of-a-kind pen that the Prince and Princess Charlene used to sign at their wedding. We had, let's say, in the back of our mind, the dream of creating something for Princess Grace, and he loved the idea.
And now that idea has blossomed into a sparkling tribute to her timeless beauty. Bringing you the best of California from Beverly Hills, I'm Audra Stafford for California Life.
Well, flowers are a great way to say I love you to those special moms in your life, but forget the boring bouquet. California Life's Audra Stafford shows us some fun floral ideas from entertaining expert Leslie Stowe.
Nothing says Happy Mother's Day like fresh flowers.
Tulip is usually my favorite. Tulips, daisies, daffodils, and roses.
Or how about some mums for mum?
I've got here a little chrysanthemum arrangement, these green tight chrysanthemums. I've just taken a little bowl and put some green foam inside, and to make it more special, I've added a sequin heart to it.
It's those little touches, entertaining expert Leslie Stowe says, that will make your flowers look phenomenal.
People get very intimidated about making their own arrangements, and again, I'm always about doing something a little bit different, but keeping it simple. So I have this amazing sort of branch twig arrangement, and I've found these wonderful little round vases. And what I'm doing here is just adding some tulips to it.
Leslie says it's best to stick to one theme.
I don't have lots of different colors happening here. I don't have lots of different flowers, and it makes a much more effective arrangement.
And she says you should always decorate in odd numbers.
So I have already put 4 arrangements on this tree, and I'm just going to add one more arrangement, so then we would have 5. And there we are. I mean, how simple does that get?
Almost as simple as the rose martini.
It doesn't take any talent to do an arrangement like this. We're just cutting the roses off quite short so that they fit in, and we're going to fill up the entire base of this vase. So in less than 5 minutes, you have a gorgeous arrangement.
One that your special mom is sure to love. You can find more of Leslie's tips for entertaining, as well as her cookbook and signature Raincoast crisps, on her website. Just visit lesliestowe.com. Bringing you the best for Mother's Day, I'm Audra Stafford for California Life.
The American Cancer Society estimates that more than 87,000 new cases of melanoma were diagnosed in the U.S. last year alone, and approximately 9,700 people died from the disease. Of the many types of skin cancer, melanoma is the most serious and has also become increasingly common, with the incidence rates growing by nearly 50% over the last 15 years.
Most melanomas, not all, but most of them are caused by exposure to UV radiation, meaning the sun, or tanning salons, for example, which can damage the skin, and that sets up the process of cancer in the melanocytes, which makes a melanoma. And as you saw, it's increasing in likelihood, it's increasing in incidence, and the number of deaths, thank goodness, has probably plateaued, but the incidence has gone up every year over the last 20 years.
And there seems to be a common thread for those most susceptible to melanoma.
Anyone who lives in a sunny climate has had a lot of sun exposure. Red hair, blonde hair, blue eyes, green eyes, a lot of freckles, a lot of abnormal freckles, family history of melanoma. Those are the people at greatest risk.
Dr. Louise Perkins is with the Melanoma Research Alliance, the largest nonprofit researcher of melanoma, and says melanoma patients need to ask questions when visiting their doctor.
Well, you should definitely ask them, what are the latest in treatments? Are there immunotherapies that would be right for me? What are the potential side effects of these therapies? What's your experience in using these therapies? And what are the goals of my treatment? We'd also recommend for any cancer patient that they obtain a second opinion.
There is some good news for melanoma patients. A new treatment option has been approved for use in people with melanoma whose cancer and affected lymph nodes have been surgically removed. The new therapy stems from an innovative area of research called immuno-oncology.
Immuno-oncology is sort of the science and study and treatment of patients with drugs that stimulate the immune system to kill the tumor. Those drugs don't directly kill the tumor cells, but what they do is they stimulate the immune system, which in the cancer-bearing state doesn't function normally. We call it exhausted. It's dysfunctional, and you can reinvigorate the immune system with this new class of drugs that have been developed over the last 15, 16 years to use the immune system itself to get rid of the tumor and prevent the tumor from returning after surgical removal.
To learn more about melanoma, visit the Melanoma Research Alliance at melanomacure.org. And to find out more about the latest advancement in treatment, talk to your doctor and visit opdivo.com. Bringing you the best of California, I'm David Wiley for California Life.
And coming up on California Live, from boardrooms to the red carpets of Hollywood, our next guest created a company that spans across the board, delivering content on a leading global entertainment level, and she's a single mom. And now let's go to our business reporter, Jock Lubin, who sits down for a chat with a new media mogul who happens to be a single mom. Jock?
Thank you, Heather. When it comes to fashion, entertainment, and film, Anita Media has the 411. We are happy to welcome the founder and publisher, Tanisha Johnson, who built her business from the ground up and turned it into an overnight online success. Tell us about Anita Media.
Anita Media is sort of media outside the box entertainment company. We encompass everything from business of entertainment to film festivals, fashion events.
Could you tell us a little bit about each one so we have a better sense of what you're doing?
The first one would be Jessica Magazine, and it covers the fun side of the red carpet, the movie screens, the celebrities, you know, just the really happiness of it all that, you know, after you put all the hard work in, you sort of get. And then there's the business side, which is Tommy. That magazine really covers the business entertainment side. Always, as a journalist, running into people who are like, how do I get in? How do I do this? How do I do that? And just one day, I was just like, I knew I wanted to do a business magazine, but it was a couple of artists I actually sat down with, and it just spawned from there.
It's an online magazine.
Yes.
And it has like a massive number of visitors, right? How many people come to see it?
We're now about like 1.5 million, well, 2 million at this point, yeah.
So that's a big deal.
Yep, that is a big deal. It's always good to get when you get feedback and people are like, I read it, and I'm like, really, you read it? I'm always surprised when somebody says that they have, because you know, it online is not like an audience.
Well, it has to be good if you have over 1 million visitors.
Absolutely, yep.
Tell us about the others.
Spawned from Tommy Magazine comes Tommy Film Festival. That stands for the other movie industry. That happens during the NBA All-Star Weekend. So that sort of implements physically what Tommy Magazine is all about. So we do have a film festival like everyone else. However, at the end, winners receive a team to help build their business. So they'll get like a public relations specialist, they'll get a business manager to go to the next level.
What are the movies that you would show at that film festival?
Oh, we have features, docs, shorts. We definitely highlight women, and that's important because in this industry, women films and films that are made by women hardly get greenlighted, so we definitely want to make sure we have that runway for them to just go on.
So these are women screenwriters, directors, actors, all of that?
Absolutely.
And what are the other things you're up to?
There's the fashion magazine, and then there's the runway event. Those two are premiering during NBA All-Star Weekend next year in Houston. What I wanted to do with the runway was give an opportunity for women of color and of all colors, not just African-American women, just the opportunity to couple themselves with really great designers, stylists, things of that nature, and take their businesses, their name, their brand, which may be themselves, to the next level.
In the course of doing what you do, you help others.
Absolutely. Like, the secret part of everything that I do is philanthropy. Like, it just seems like it's an average business. It seems like, you know, I'm running a magazine and I do interviews, but it's not. It's there as a resource, especially the magazine. It stands for the other music industry. And there's a lot of independents who don't know what they're doing, who don't exactly, you know, they just think they have a logo and their name and they're off and they're done. And there's so many other things, and if you don't have that foundation really solid, it can just get away from you and crumble before you even start.
I guess what you're saying is a good idea is not necessarily enough to make money.
Absolutely.
I'm astonished that someone who's as busy as you are with your business is also a single mom with 3 kids. Tell me how you manage to balance all of that.
Being a mom, that's the motivation, especially to work. You know, it's really easy sometimes when you're single to just get away from the focus. And with the kids in tow, you know, besides having responsibility, giving them an example of, like, if you really do some hard work, a lot of things can happen for you. It may take a little time, but it can happen for you.
Well, I'll tell you, I get tired just thinking about all the energy you use up in your daily life.
I know, other people say the same thing, but it just happens and you just get it done. I think mothers are good at that. We just know how to balance all these little balls in the air.
Thank you for being on the show.
Oh, thank you.
She's pregnant, she's in heels, and she's bringing a sense of East Coast style to the West Coast.
She's Rosie Pope, maternity fashion maven and star of the hit Bravo reality series Pregnant in Heels. And she's debuting her new self-titled West Coast store, Rosie Pope Maternity in Santa Monica.
I wanted to be on the West Coast, obviously, for such a long time. I think that it's so important to be here with the whole celebrity phenomenon of pregnant celebrities. They're so important, they're such style icons, and I wanted to be a part of that whole movement.
Part of that phenomenon includes Allison Hannigan, Molly Sims, and Brooke Burke, all beautiful, successful Hollywood women and all moms who came out to show support for the grand opening.
I can't imagine Rosie Pope maternity store opening. What a better fit. It's a great store. It's young, it's hip, it's fun, it's modern. I think the one thing I like the most about it is that it's feminine and it's still somewhat figure flattering.
Having made a name for herself among celebrity and high-end clientele for her modern spin on classic, often boring and unflattering maternity wear, Rosie takes styles right off the runway and turns them into pieces that adapt to a woman's pregnant form. It's this take on style that even attracts the always fit, always gorgeous mother of 4, Brooke Burke.
I think maternity fashion is always tough and challenging, and you still want to be beautiful and you still want to be hip and fashionable, and it's tough. So it's a lot easier today than it was certainly when I had my first child, and it seems to be getting better and better as time goes on.
I'm a maternity concierge, catering to my clients every...
Her Bravo show, Pregnant in Heels, chronicles Rosie's life as she manages her maternity wear boutique and pregnancy concierge service in New York, and has made Rosie a household name. Fans can expect the Santa Monica store to include the same stylish clothes, weekly mom prep classes, and Rosie's no-nonsense, know-how, and style tips, like her #1 fashion rule of thumb for pregnant women.
Just as much as every woman's body is so different when you're not pregnant, it's the same when you're pregnant, so you have to find what works for you. So you have to see what happens to your body. Everybody's different. Some people carry like a basketball, some people get big all over, so you have to look what works.
And what works this season and what moms-to-be can expect to find at the new Rosie Pope maternity store is lots of eye-catching colors and prints.
So we're doing a lot of big bold prints and a lot of big bright colors and also nautical themes. There's been this notion in maternity that you can't have bold prints, you can't have bright colors, and you can't have stripes. I throw those all out. I think they look amazing on pregnant women.
With baby number 3 on the way, a second season of Pregnant in Heels in the works, and of course the grand opening. Rosie is the epitome of a working mom who's working it and clearly taking her own advice. For more on the store, visit rosiepope.com. Bringing you the best of California from Santa Monica, I'm Conchetta Deluca with California Life.
You worship the sun in your teens and 20s and spent summers laying out in your backyard armed with baby oil for a deeper tan. So now your skin is paying the price and you're seeing fine lines, wrinkles, and slack skin mapping across your face. But if you're toying with the idea of a surgical facelift, know that you don't have to go under the knife. Evolastin, an aesthetic procedure, delivers similar dramatic facelift-like results without the surgery. Dr. Newman of Premier Plastic Surgery in Palo Alto is a pioneer in the field, having trained most of the physicians who currently perform this treatment today.
Evolastin is a procedure which utilizes radiofrequency energy at a very specific level in the tissues of one's face to produce a three-dimensional rejuvenation of not only collagen but elastin fibers as well as hyaluronic acid. We are creating a new volume in the skin, a new improved quality of the skin.
And he does it without invasive surgery. No more scalpel, no more stitches. Evolastin uses tiny needle pricks to erase the years. Hollywood celebs get paid to be on the cutting edge when it comes to beauty. Stars like Jennifer Aniston and J-Lo always look their best. But these days, the rest of us don't have to be left out. Connie Larios wanted to be one of the first to give it a try.
Once I hear about something, I want to be the first one to do it. I want to be the first one to try it. I want to be the first one to talk about it.
So what is she looking to change?
I can see little signs of aging that I would like to have. Like if you could take a needle and just puff up the skin, that's what I'm looking for, just to kind of make it look a little more natural and perfect.
Dr. Newman makes dozens of microscopic incisions about 3 millimeters below the surface. Then he delivers bipolar radiofrequency energy deep into the dermis. This stimulates the natural production of collagen, elastin, and hyaluronic acid as the skin heals. The results? Plumper, more youthful skin.
The results of this type of stimulation does last for a couple of years. I've been doing it for 2.5 years, and I can tell you that patients, when they come in to see me a year later, still look very good.
Researchers confirmed they saw continual improvements in the skin's textural, tone, or elasticity for up to 18 months post-procedure. Unlike the typical nip and tuck facelift, only a single 1-hour-long treatment is required for great results.
Patients will typically have some swelling, maybe a little bit of bruising, and recover over the course of a weekend. The most significant part of the Evolastin recovery continues underneath the patient's skin without any downtime. The stimulus of the energy that the Evolastin produces works on the patient's own skin, and so it's more of a natural regeneration that occurs over 3 to 4 months.
Evolastin is performed under local anesthesia. The cost? About $3,000. Results show within 8 weeks and continue to improve for up to 6 months. Reporting in Palo Alto, I'm Holly Kmeyer for California Life.
This happy, healthy wife and mother nearly died 3 years ago on what should have been a day of celebration.
I had no history of heart issues, but shortly after giving birth, I had a pregnancy-related complication that caused me to have a massive heart attack, and I went into cardiogenic shock. My heart was very weak and failing.
Luckily, doctors were able to save her life by implanting a tiny heart pump.
And this particular pump made by Abiomed, who we are here on behalf of today, is very easily inserted. You put it in through a blood vessel, you thread this catheter up into the heart, and this pump will suction the blood from the heart and then push it out to all the other vital organs.
Just as important, the pump gave Laura's weakened heart the time to rest and recover, allowing her to go home to her family a few days after the procedure. Visit abiomed.com/women for more information.
That'll do it for us in our special Mother's Day episode of California Life. If you missed any part of our show, you can go to our website, californialifehd.com, and please don't forget to like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. We'll see you next time.
Watch us on our YouTube channel. Stay connected to our social media, like our blogs on Facebook. Follow our tweets on Twitter, and check out our posts on Instagram and Pinterest, where we bring you the best of California.